For as long as I have known, everybody around me in school just knew how to speak English. It was a language that came naturally to them. They spoke it at home, they learned it quickly, and they didn't have to struggle to grammatically match a verb to a noun to an adjective. But for me, my journey was quite different. I was born in India, Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, where my mother tongue was not English. Instead, it was Tamil. So when I moved to Singapore at 3 years old and my parents decided to enroll me into a British school, I did not know a word that they were saying. I had to push myself to learn the new language to be able to communicate with them. And one day, when I came home and I spoke to my parents in a British accent, I think they were all incredibly shocked because it was a testament to show that I myself changed my identity when I was speaking a different language with different people. And I think that's what the quote, those who know many languages live as many lives as the languages they know, truly means. I want to explore this topic in three ways. First, on an individual level. Second, on a social scale. And third, as a global phenomenon. Before I bring you back to a life lesson that we need to all remember when we decide to explore language in our own ways. So first then, how do languages improve the individuality of our own lives? I think as soon as you know more languages, you are able to communicate in more ways. The best example of this is a pop star called Yoon Chae, who joined the group Cat's Eye, a very famous girl group and band in today's pop culture. However, when she first joined, she was only able to speak Korean and wasn't able to speak English. So it was a challenge for her to then learn and build upon those skills to be able to communicate with her Western audience. And now she's one of the most favorite members in the group, and everybody is able to appreciate not just her talent, but also her personality. But let's also look at this on a global level. Sorry, a social level. I think that languages are not just as simple as English, Spanish, Tamil, and French. Languages can be so much more. Languages can be things like sport, like music, like poetry, and shared interests. And I think that's where hobbies and common interests come in as languages and not just basic words. I want to draw your attention to a relationship between football superstar David Beckham and his teammate Ronaldinho. You see, David was only able to speak English because he grew up in the UK, and Ronaldinho was only able to speak Portuguese and Italian as he grew up in Brazil. But nevertheless, both of them had an incredible relationship as teammates because they both bonded over the love for football. So this doesn't mean that you need to know a language and put in all that effort of learning the perfect grammatical structures to live another life. It just means to immerse yourself with passion, because then the other people from a diverse group of cultures will also find you because they have the same passion. But third then, let's look at this global phenomenon. Because point blank, period, it is very clear that in our world, English is becoming the dominant language. Globalization has caused all of us to need to speak English as an academic pursuit and to be recognized as credible. And this is what causes us to lose our own smaller languages and pieces of our own identity as a process. Because if I grew up in Singapore and I wasn't able to speak Tamil, then I would lose all of my cultural roots and heritage, such as my ancient form of dance that I learned from my culture, because that is only being able to experience when I'm able to speak the language and understand those meanings. So I think we should all take it upon ourselves to look a little deeper into our identities, learn a little more of the languages that we're missing, because a lot of us have a lot more to offer and a lot more to give. But note, this doesn't just have to look like coming home and speaking in a British accent or going to school and not changing yourself. It can look like picking up new hobbies, like art, like pottery, like writing, like poetry, because that is what allows you to connect to more people. And when you are able to live more lives, you are able to experience more happiness. And if we're all going to die anyways, isn't just a little more happiness always worth it? Thank you.